So welcome everyone to our second product update of 2024. Thank you so much for taking the time to join our session today. Today, I'll be taking you through the new features and the changes that are now available in the accessplanit platform. And Eleonora will be running us through what is coming down the product pipeline.
Great.
Need a click.
You need a click. There we go.
So this session, should I take the mouse?
Yeah.
So this session is all about taking you through the latest functionality available to your accessplanit platform and giving you a view of what is to come in the future. So we'll be kicking off with what's available to you now. We have two releases to talk to you about here. Ellie will then give you a tour of our new, next, and our later, and we will go through any questions you have on the new functionality or the now, next, and later at the end. So this is us. Quick introduction before we jump in. I'm Helen Noble. I'm one of the customer success managers. I work in the customer operations team and lead the commercial management of accessplanit. You will probably see my colleagues Jack and Lauren a bit more often. They focus on the optimized side of our support. I've been with AP for just over 2.5 years now.
Cool, thank you, Helen. And I'm Eleonora, or Elu as I refer in here for short. I'm the product manager at accessplanit, and I look after all the product management. So I will be talking, as Helen said, through what are we working now, next, and later on our roadmap, and some exciting things coming. So stay tuned. The other thing I was going to say is, if you have questions, please write them in the Q&A, even as we're talking, because if you're like me, by the time it comes to the end, you've forgotten your question. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to address them while we present, but we will address them at the end. So just keep them coming.
Excellent. So let's start with the features that are available right now for you to immediately use. So in June, we released our highly anticipated new feature of consolidate emails. Got such a cheer within the accessplanit hub when this was released internally to us. So it's generated when a recipient was due to receive more than one email for the same workflow action. So instead of receiving multiple emails, they can instead receive a single consolidated email. So this means you can communicate far more effectively with your customers and your team. So in this example that you can see here, Adora is booked on Antoni, Estelle and Marta. Without consolidate emails, Adora would receive 3 individual emails for this booking. One for Antoni, one for Estelle, and obviously one for Marta. With consolidate emails, Adora only receives 1 consolidated email containing all of that information. So let's have a look at this full email. So as I said, consolidate emails are where multiple emails, such as those about delegate, courses, or invoices, are grouped together in a single email. By consolidating emails, your customer and internal inboxes will receive a lower volume of emails. This is not only streamlines communication, but it also lowers the chance of important information getting lost. We all know what it's like to have such a huge inbox with things going missing. So for your customer receiving a single comprehensive email, it's not only more convenient, but it also enhances the overall user experience. We've already run a dedicated webinar on consolidate emails on the 25th of June, and this is now available on our on-demand page of our website. So if you want any more information about how that works and further details, that would be a great place to go. Or additionally, our lovely Sean and Jack on our team will be leading a Q&A session all about consolidated emails on the 9th of July. So whether you have questions or you just want to hear what questions other people have, you can register for this on our website.
And it's free.
And it's free, yeah. Free resource. So our July release, which is being rolled out over the next few weeks, and coming to you imminently contains 10 new features or improvements. I'll run through the list first, and then we can go through each point in more detail. So we have default course and start end times, placeholder improvements, cancel purchases along delegates, accessibility improvements, age restrictions in checkout, create delegate improvements in checkout, set unpaid delegates to provisional, save billing address in checkout, discount limitations available in checkout, and restrict bookings available in checkout. So this first feature from our July update are new options for you to define what time your course starts and ends. This course template setting, and it will override your global start and time setting. So this means that, for example, you can set your global start and end time as 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then use the option for any courses that don't follow that time frame. This course here, for example, starts at 10 a.m. and finishes at 4:15. So let's have a look at this new option in action. So as you can see, the steps here, we're going to edit the existing first aid course template, jump to the course timings. We're going to set this course template to have a start time of 10:30. And we want it to end at 3:30. Now we're going to go to the class courses data grid to schedule this course. We're going to click add, select our course template. And we can see that the start and end time have pulled in automatically for us. So we've made several improvements to placeholders in this update. The biggest change is that it's now a dedicated placeholder smart grid, available for you to view and manage your placeholders from all in one place. So again, let's take a look at this in the platform. So scroll down to the main menu, options to the smart grid. In here, there is a new option for placeholders. Opening this page, you can view every placeholder. From this page, I could look for all placeholders for future courses. I can also look for all placeholders that are cancelled. Or all placeholders that are active and haven't been invoiced yet. All of this information is available here. I can then complete bulk actions such as generating invoices for them or sending emails. So the placeholder improvements, in addition to the data grid, we have also made lots more information available to you in your placeholder module. You can now access a lot more information in your placeholders data grid. This includes invoice, booking, and course information. You can include lots more information in those email templates you send out to placeholders, including course information, trainers' names, placeholder invoice references. And finally, you can also now trigger placeholder-based workflows. So when your course date or venue are changed, to alert your customer, you can filter your placeholder workflows so to no longer send for that session. Much more efficient communication. Next up. So next, in addition to the cancellation wizard. When you are cancelling delegates, you will now be able to cancel any product and services purchases that are mapped to the delegate at the same time. This will then process any refunds and additional credit notes all within the same process. You'll find this new option in cancel purchases within the cancellation wizard. Use this option to choose which purchases to cancel alongside delegates before you click cancel delegate. So accessibility, we have been continuing with our platform updates to better support our users with accessibility needs. It's something that's very important here at accessplanit, as of course it should be. Here are a few of the changes we have made within the checkout to make that booking process as accessible as possible. So firstly, we've added in an explanation of what the asterisks are for, because this isn't always obvious to everybody. Next, we have updated the way the address details are displayed to better suit the way that a screen reader reads a page. And we've also flagged the thumbs up image as decorative, so screen reader software knows to skip past it. Finally, each page of checkout has its own name now so that it can be identified. You'll see that the page looks like this in your browser tab now. So moving on to the new features that are now available within checkout baskets. So the first of these is support for age restrictions on your courses. This functionality is free, but it does need to be enabled. So if you're interested in using it, please get in touch with a member of the accessplanit team to get this turned onto your platform. We will gladly turn it on for you. Once it's enabled, you'll be able to get 2 additional options available on your course templates, where you can both set the minimum delegate age, the maximum delegate age, or both, if that's what you're needing. When the course is then added to a checkout basket, it won't be possible to book people that are outside that age requirement, which you can see here. As you can see, the user does not meet the age requirement for this course. Please bear in mind that this applies to people who don't have a date of birth at all. So the next checkout update allows you to mark delegates as provisional if they have an outstanding invoice. So this means that if a customer goes through the basket and selects to be invoiced rather than paying up front, the delegate will have that status of provisional until that invoice is paid. Once the invoice has been paid, the delegate will then automatically be updated as booked. There is now a new option available in the payment step of checkout. This allows your admin team and your customers to save their billing addresses. The new checkout save billing address for future use will appear whenever somebody enters an address into the step. And if this is ticked, it will provide the addresses that are saved within that billing address section. And this means they'll be available to the next time. So you do not need to type it again. The checkout basket now supports discount limitations, and this is both user limits and validation date limits. So the usage limits is where you can say that the discount can only be used 3 times per customer or 3 times in total, and then it will not be valid any longer. A validation date is where you can state the date range that the discount is valid for. This is great for seasonal discounts, i.e., you can only book in August for 10% off. You need to use it now. Next up, the checkout basket now works alongside the restrict booking option. So the restrict booking option is available to users. So for example, here we have user Lainey Abel, and we are viewing their user details. If Lainey is a bad payer, or there is some other reason why we don't want them to be able to make a booking anymore, we should go to the bottom of this page. Restrict booking. So once this restrict booking checkbox is checked, Lainey won't be able to make any bookings themselves, but also administrators won't be able to select them as a booking user. As you can see here, Administrators will see that laning is restricted from making bookings. Our final checkout update is support from capturing nationality and optional fields within the Create Delegate form. Each field that you choose to include in your Create Delegate form will now have mandatory checkboxes beside it where you can choose if this is optional or mandatory information. You can also rename the account name field too if this is something like organisation name or a charity name. It makes more sense to your customers so that they have a better understanding. Within the basket, you can then see the optional fields that are included, such as the nationality here. So before I hand over to Elu to talk about what's in store for the platform in the future, here's a quick recap of the functionality that is either already available to you already available in your platform or will be available to you very soon. We have consolidate emails, default course start and end times, placeholder improvements, cancel purchases alongside delegates, accessibility improvements. We have those age restrictions in the checkout. We are able to set unpaid delegates as provisional until that payment has been made. We can save the billing addresses in the checkout to avoid retyping. Discount limitation and restrict bookings in checkout, and create delegate improvements in the checkout.
So,
would you like the mouse?
Over to me. So, as Helen talked to us about what we are just about to release, I'm going to be talking to you about what we're working on at the moment, and then, well, all the things we're working on at the moment and the different stages. If you came to our previous webinar or if you watch it on demand on the website, you would know that we moved to a now, next, later roadmap, where instead of saying a date, we put things into more of a dynamic. It's more dynamic than saying this is going to be done on this date. So we talk about now, next, and later for the different stages of where we are working with the different things. So they're more broad and high level. So the next thing. So yeah, I love these graphics. Our marketing manager Lucy picked them, and I'm like, oh, I love them. So the different stages of the roadmap, we have now, next, and later, as I said, with features moving from the right, or ideas, not necessarily only features, to the left. So later is something that we are thinking of, and as they're taking shape, we move things to the next and to the now. So about to launch, this one is even more than now. This is what Helen's just gone through, all the things listed in there. What are we working on now? Well, we're working on a lot of things now. One of the big themes we have for this year is connectivity. So now we're working on the new version of the APIs where you will be able to connect to other platforms and other systems seamlessly. So that is called the version 2 of our APIs. Is a big piece of work. Yeah, it's very exciting. With the idea that anything you can see in the platform, you'll be able to connect to other systems and bring back things and send back things. So we're working very intensely in all to do with connectivity, particularly on what we're working on now is the webhooks. Then we have more placeholder improvements. So as Helen said, we now have the placeholders data grid, which is great to have everything in the one place, but there's more things coming your way. We are working on improving the wizards. If you use placeholders, maybe you know that some things don't quite flow. So, for example, if you cancel a placeholder that has some places, some delegates allocated to some places, it's a two-stage process at the moment. You cancel the placeholder and then you need to go and cancel the delegates, where we're working on giving that choice within the wizard. So you cancel a placeholder that's got some delegates assigned to them. You'll have a choice to say, do you want to also cancel these people, or do you want to leave them? So that's a kind of some of the improvements we're working on the transfer and cancellation wizard. So still focus on placeholders, hopefully, to put a ribbon to all the work on placeholders. We still working on accessibility improvements. So we're working off some external resource. So we have AbilityNet looking at all our customer facing areas, and they provided us with a list of things we need to do to make the learner portal and our baskets more accessible. So we're working through all of those. We're kind of nearly there. I wanted to say we are doing the last ones, but there's a few that are a little bit like, so as I didn't say before, the roadmap is dynamic, because sometimes you plan things and you say, I'm working on this now, but we might encounter some hurdles or risks that we didn't foresee. So things may move like from the now to the later and then back. So that's what's happening with some accessibility. We're hoping to have them all wrapped up, but some moved a little bit, but we're hoping to finish them off soon. Custom fields to more modules. This is really exciting. It's going to give the platform so much more flexibility, and it's going to give you a lot more options. So custom fields across many different modules. For example, notes, tasks, meetings, files, product and services. Communications. Do you want me to say them all? Should I say them all? The loads. Price schemes, discount opportunity items, fees, e-learning cost templates, and all these custom fields will be available in data grids and workflows and everywhere where you can access your fields. So this will give you a lot more freedom and choice to add more information to the platform that is specific for you with these custom fields. So that's a really exciting. Well, I'm excited about all of the things we're doing. I don't know which one is more exciting. Audits, and I put audits, because we're doing a lot with audits. So as you know, we audit quite a lot of things in the platform at the moment, where we're adding more. So we're adding more modules are being audited, and more fields within modules. So we are adding they created by, last updated by, so more meaningful information to those audits. So we'll be working in audits. Well, that's what we're working on now. So coming to you soon. The next thing we're working on is tasks. So tasks supported in placeholders, product and services, bookings, notes, and training confirmation modules. So tasks, notes, and files are three areas we're concentrating at the moment. So for tasks, you'll be able to add files. We're going to add an overdue batch, and also you'll be able to trigger workflow reminders through the workflows for tasks. So remember, this task is going to be overdue, or you'll be able to manage the task with the workflows. Notes, as I said, another area we're working on. We add in a subject field, and we've added notes to bookings and products and services and the task module that you said. And then something also quite exciting, well, very exciting. It's a multi-action, so you'll be able to create notes and tasks in mass. So you can select a few and create a note that will apply to them all rather than one by one. So it's all time saving, making it more efficient for you. So notes, some changes on the menus. We're going to be moving some of you already might have it moved, but not everyone. So top left options for switch to legacy, and switch to portal will be moved to where the administration menu is. And then also a really nice one, which is the left-hand menu, our main menu, navigation menu, will expand and collapse as you hover over it. So it's not taking that visual space all the time. You can choose to fix it, but obviously we're going to go onto this in detail later on once we release it. But it's well, we're thinking of menus and making it better for you visually, so there's not so much space in there, so it's easy for you to just hover and click. There's quite a lot of things going on with menus. Time zones, so adding a field to record time zones in courses that can be displayed in the baskets, in the learner portal, in the calendars, in the data grids. We're doing some more things to check out for our customers that sell free courses, or charities, or if you don't charge for your courses, we are working on hiding the costs and any reference to payment in checkout, so people don't get confused. Resources, so ability to access courses and communications from the context menu. We've got more. We're kind of polishing off our sync integration, which it exists, and it had some kind of little niggles, so we're working on making it more nice and smooth. Yeah. My teaching, I've got more now. Oh, my teaching's a big one. So my teaching at the moment is an area we are focusing on the next, which I'm going to come on next. But now we're going to add the ability to hide costs for trainers. So some of you don't want the trainers to see the costs. So at the moment that option is not there, so it will be. So that's all we're working on now. And after now, we're moving on to next. Yes. There's a lot. I feel like I'm like, blah, blah, blah.
Well, it's a lot to share.
Yeah, it's a lot to share. But I have something exciting just after the later to share with you. So our next focus, our focus in next is Trainer Portal. We are working really hard on enhancing the Trainer Portal, so it's more intuitive and user-friendly. So the trainers can do more things, liberating admins from tasks, and then therefore gaining time for admins. So we're working really hard on trainers accessing course materials, being able to add notes, see tasks, communicate that way rather than outside and with emails. There's a big piece of work going on with my teaching, so stay tuned. I'm not going to go into detail, but it's exciting. It's going to be really good. It's going to be good for your trainers to be more self-sufficient and for your admins to not have to do stuff for them. So that's what we're thinking. The goal is a single source of truth. And yeah, this stops this back and forth with communication. Is there, is easy accessible, is good bit. So let me just click. My teaching, as I said, data grids, inline editing. We're also working on being able to edit fields from the data grid inline rather than having to navigate inside, like having to go edit and navigate to where the field is to change it. It's going to be, well, it's in the next, so it's not fully defined, but kind of a functionality. So when you click for inline editing, you'll be able to edit what you can see on the data grid without having to navigate away, which is great for time saving. Rather than having to navigate away and then go back where you were, you'll be able to you click the inline edit, you just edit what you can see, save, the end we can carry on working through your data grid. So that's really exciting.
It's just going to flow a lot better.
Yes, I mean there's a lot of good stuff coming.
Yeah,
and it's all
efficiencies.
Yes, and it's all obviously with you in mind. Because we know admins have a lot going on, so we want to make the life easier. So The next one, what else? Even more placeholder improvements. So with the certain areas we're working on through the year that you'll see, like for example, placeholders. Some things are about to be released, some are on the now, some are on the next. So not everything is done at the same time. So there's an area and different developments are done in different stages. So there's more placeholders coming your way. And then auditing custom fields, MFA. If you know, hopefully you know that we now have multi-factor authentication in the platform. At the moment, is restricted to 120 days. So what we are working on next is on adding a configurability option, so you can choose how often you would like the MFA to kick in. If for you it's important every 30 days, or every 365. So that's what we're doing with MFA. Big thing again, connectivity on the big theme for 2024. We're working on the build elements of connectivity. And a few more little bits on checkout, like the ability to configure the select delegate columns. At the moment there's the 4, and you'll be able to say, oh, well, I want to add their national insurance number, I don't know, something that is relevant to you to find your delegates easier. So there'll be the ability to configure the select delegate columns. More on the menus, following on from what I said before. Google Analytics is also, the platform works with Google Analytics, so we're looking at doing some enhancements on that and bringing more functionality. I think I'm done for the next. Now, moving on to the later.
Where we go?
Yes, a bit tiring. Where have we got? So as you can see, we're working really hard on all these things. There's a lot going on, and hopefully you're as excited as we are, at least with some of these bits that will apply to you, with all of these bits that will apply to you and make your life easier. So next, we'll again, through the connectivity theme, we're working on integrations. They're on the latest stage at the moment. Calendar, I know there's a lot of people that submitted suggestions about the calendar, so that's an area we're looking into. It's in the later stage, so it's not so well defined. What we're reading everything you've got to say, all your suggestions, all your requests about the calendar, and making that take shape. Reporting, another area that we're looking into, and it's in the later stage. Dashboards, and roles. So all these things in the later, all these things taking shape, all these things hopefully moving on to the next, and now and then over to you. So with that, I finish the now next later, but the exciting, well, everything's exciting. A very exciting thing we've got to share is we are working on a public roadmap. So you know at all times what is in now, what is in next, and what is in later, and you don't have to ask us, ask Helen on the service reviews, or ask your CSM, or well, you can obviously come to these ones. These ones are still going to happen every quarter, but you'll have all this information available to you at all times. So it's under construction. This is the portal that hopefully you are used to submit, where you go to submit your new product suggestions and your new ideas. So we are making some changes on that portal, and we are putting our roadmap into the portal. So you will see that there's some different tabs. Things are launched, then you have roadmap, and then you have the now, next, later. And the under considerations are things we are thinking about. They're not made it into the later yet. I'll go through this in more detail in a second. So on the launch, you have all the things that are launched with these little squares are called tiles for all the features, with an explanation on what's what. Also, a link to the release notes where you can go through every single feature that has been released in detail. Those are really great. They're available to you. And also for what Helen shared, the release notes are available. So on the roadmap tab, you have what I've just shown you of what is the roadmap and what's in each bit, explaining about the now, next, later. Then we're moving on to the now, where all these things are just talk to you, and you're probably going like, what? I will like, blah, 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 blah. You can go and look at them in there. So it's on the construction, because obviously there's only like 3 at the moment. So I am working on, well, we are working in product on putting everything that is on the now in there. Same for the next and same for the later. But this, I just put a few so you get a gist. And we are collaborating with our marketing team to make them nicer. So you can tell the ones I made, they're just text a bit more.
Lucy will make them magical.
Lucy will make them magical, probably with some gifs, some little videos, more like nicer to the eye and to understand at a glance. So that is very exciting. Same for the next, as I said, and the later. So you'll be able, so as the things move from one stage to the other, we in product will be moving them from one stage to the other in here. So at all times, you'll be able to come here and know exactly what we're up to, which is very great. So this is the under consideration. So the under consideration is things that haven't made it to the later yet, are things we're thinking about. As I said, all this is under construction at the moment. Very, very important thing for you is that you'll be able to interact with us. In each of these tiles, you'll be able to submit your vote, whether it's important or not important, and then you'll be able to tell us how will this solve your problems? You know, how would you use it? What would be good for you? So we'll be able to see that and take it into account when we are when we're doing what we're doing. And the other thing that is really good is if you interacted with us through here, we'll be able to send you a communication once this is released and say, Helen, you came and said, this is critical for me. I'll use it like this, like this, like this, and it solves these problems. Once it's released, I'll be able to say, hey, Helen, this is released. And so it closes that loop that at the moment is not that closed. So please interact with us in there. You can, it's free type, so we put some prompt as in why do you need these, any content you can provide that how this will help you, but feel free to just explain the problem this will solve and how would you use it in there. And the submit new, if you can't find what you're looking for in the now, next or later, or the under consideration, to just put your vote or send us a little comment, you can submit a new idea. This is as stands at the moment. We read them every week. So we have a target of 100% product suggestions read per week in product. And so we do. So we do hear you. So I think we're done. I feel I spoke about 300 miles an hour.
Next time I'm going to bring you through. Next time I'm going to bring you
yeah, like slow down. I'm conscious this is 45 minutes. I'm kind of coming to the end.
There's a lot of information. What you can see there is everything that we've already done. And then what I love is how clear it's going to be of where we're going. And those product suggestions that Ellie's just said 100% are read, that's very heavily what influences the next steps.
Yeah.
So keep them coming.
So this is the stage for the questions. So if you have any questions and you would like to submit them on our Q&A, which I am going to find in it. In the whole tab. There. Oh. So if we don't have answers to these, we'll get back to you. We might not know everything you want to know. And if you are a little bit like me, you can read what I just. If you're a little bit like me, that you reflect a bit after the event and you think, oh, I should have asked this, I should have asked the other. Please send an email to our customer success inbox and then we'll get back to you. And whether it's for customer success or for product, just send them there and then they'll get directed to the right person. So right, it's a bit difficult to talk while you're reading it.
Yeah, so is there a time scale when custom fields will be available to add to fees?
timescale is difficult because if I say something, because of the dynamic nature of the roadmap, I feel really scared to say, yes, it will be done in Q3. And then if it doesn't, then I feel I'm letting you down. So what I can say is we're working on it now. So it'll be this year, but I don't want to commit to a timescale, Billy. Maybe if you basically what you can do is have a look at so it will be in the now. Yeah, it's difficult. I know you guys, I really understand you guys want to know when, and there I come saying now, next, later, but there's a reason for it. So it's in the now, really. It's actively being worked on. Timescales, I would say this year, but that's kind of as near as I can get to that. I know it wasn't Billy, that was sorry, that was Mike. You're asking about that. Then Billy, you've asked for the default start and end times
If they can be bulk edited.
in the smart grid.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to get confirmation on that one. I believe so, but Billy, I'll come back directly to you on this one and let you know. But I'm just seeing if it can come through while we're on this call.
Yeah, for Laura is asking, when a delegate has their booking restricted and they try to book a course, what will they receive on the screen? Will they receive something that tells them who to speak to discuss this with? The answer is no. This is a general message. So for you, Laura, would be contact Humanities training team, but for someone else would be contact your training administrator, contact such a team. So this is a generic message that you can't customize exactly for you. So we'll say that what Helen showed on the message is what Helen showed on the screenshot, which is more of a generic message that applies to any customers in this scenario. How can you access product portal? I can put a link. Into here, but you can access it from your platform. Can you see from the platform?
Yeah. So I'll just find out when, but I've actually just got the question back for Billy, which was about bulk edit those course template in the smart grid. So yes, you are able to bulk edit those start and end times. I know specifically for those larger accounts that change things so much and in such huge quantities, bulk editing those is going to be a real game changer.
Great.
And sorry,
yeah,
one
sorry.
more. So that product portal is available in the help option. So when you're in your platform, you can just go into help where you would normally go to the knowledge base. You are then going to be able to go to the product roadmap and product suggestions. You can't get easier than that, I would say. It's right.
Yes, on the top right. And there's a new, we also have, I don't know whether you noticed, a customer hub, a little rocket there on the top right, where it'll take you directly to our customer hub on the website on that same bit of the platform on the help. Becky, are all fields likely to be including the inline, the editing from the data grid, or will it be limited to certain fields? It depends what you can see on your data grid and what you can edit. So if you have a read-only field, then you can't edit that one. If it would be read-only, if you click right and edit, it'll still be read-only and you won't be able to edit. It'll follow the behavior of the platform at the moment. So, but more to come on that when we get more info out. There will be more detail for you in there.
So I think that's all of our questions that we can immediately answer. So what we'll do is if any come in after this call, we can keep them and we can make sure that we're communicating the answers to that. But also please remember that you've got your accessplanit support team that can answer questions. You've got us CSMs. So please, if there's any questions, please send them over to our customer.success email address. We all have access to this email address, which means that we can take which ones are ours and we can come back to you in good time. So there's always opportunity to ask questions should something come to you later on the day.
Great. And so something I can give you, Tanya, is we are working to finish or to have fully updated this public roadmap within Q3. So we're working really hard on that. So hopefully on the next webinar we do, we'll say it's all there, it's flowing, it's great. So I think that's kind of it for now, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Should we see?
Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for giving up your time, everybody. We understand how busy everybody is. It's so great to have you on these calls to keep you updated with what we're working towards and what you can see right now, but also where we're going and what's coming. So thank you so much.
Great. Thank you for coming. Have a lovely, lovely day. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye.